return in the Shadowlands, or something akin to it, with our intrepid coterie wandering on what seems to be an obelisk bridge of some sort. It's getting more and more narrow as you guys go along. It's still about 10 meters from edge to edge, but it's getting more narrow, and it looks like it's starting to crack. There are also sounds of electricity, I want to say, in the distance. Not really getting louder, but still it feels like it's getting closer. People with Sense the Unseen can see the purple bolts of lightning in the distance. Somewhere in a what looks to be a grey cloud. You've been walking for a huge amount of time, what it feels like. You're not quite sure what time it is, and I mean, a watch, if you have one, it functions, but you're not quite sure if it's actually displaying the correct time in here. As you get further down, you start to see what looks like various shattered obelisks flying in the air around you. Just these black, nothing inscribed on them or anything like that, but they're just circling around the area in various places, becoming more and more. They are varied in size and not design, but how they are damaged. And you get to a point where it feels like you are walking in a cavern of sorts. They start to form a wall around the bridge, which becomes more and more narrow. And you feel like you're walking into a natural labyrinth of sort. At some point, I imagine you all are looking cautiously around at all these things going around. Naomi seems a bit distracted at some point, and she walks towards an obelisk, like she's entranced by it, and she starts to suggest or gesture like she's about to touch it. Victor reacts, and so does everyone else with celerity, but he's let's say more worried about Naomi than some people. Before he yells out stop, a man-sized black hand comes out from the obelisk and grabs her and pulls her inside. As this is happening, you see the yellow in Victor's eyes come out. He looks like he is not happy, possibly frenzied. What is your guys' reaction to this? What do you intend to do?
Premonition?
You can do the roll and the rouse.
Yeah, Killjoy starts towards to grab her, but she's already gone, and so he just will turn and look to JK and be like, "What? What was that?" Yeah.
Something dead.
Is there a way to get her back?
I am hungry here.
You feel like your beast is very much in its own environment in here, and possibly affecting you. You're hungrier than you usually are, that's for sure. Four successes on a premonition. What are you trying to look for here?
Trying to find out what's going to happen to Naomi.
think the best way to describe it is she's falling through void. You can only see her. It's pitch black around her. You can see she's screaming, but there's no sound. She's not hitting terminal velocity or anything like that, but you get a clear sense that she's falling inside something that's, well, you know what it is. But the shadows in here. And then your vision is disrupted by... You see it for just a split second, but something that looks like a huge gate or portal. And you're not mortal, so you don't get a headache or anything like that, but the rest of you see JK, he kind of takes a step back. Like he's hit by something. Obviously you see the white in his eyes, but that's what you get out, the premonition. As he's doing that and Killjoy is turning around, Alex and Vaughn, what is your reaction to this?
Well, I know that we were all single file, and I think that Alex was behind JK. I can't recall the order, but I think he was. So with JK like stepping back, Alex is going to reach out and try to steady him. I also cannot recall if how sound worked and whether we were able to like vocally communicate with each other in here or what was going on. Can you tell me that?
You can speak, but there's no echo. The sound carries, like, let's say you guys are 20 meters apart and you speak normally, you can hear it clear as day. Okay. There's no difference if you're 10 meters from each other, 500. It's kind of weird. It's the same volume. Even a whisper is the same.
Okay, situation assessment. Like, okay, Victor's eyes went yellow, and Naomi just got grabbed by a huge, giant, dark hand, and is currently like screaming inside a pillar. And JK just got thrown back against me, and grabbing him, making sure that he's steadied, and we don't fall off this increasingly narrow, breaking bridge or pathway or whatever it is we're on, and just checking to see how everybody else is and what Victor's doing and what we're going to do about Naomi, because I would assume she's in trouble. And he, Alex is going to ask JK as much like, okay, what's going on here? You're the expert, and this is your thing. So what's going on?
Well, saying I'm the expert is questionable at best. But we're bordering to the shadowlands in some way.
Victor is running towards the pillar where Naomi just been pulled in.
We need to go after her, right?
Well, that kind of shit can happen at any moment.
I'm not following. Not into that.
She's currently falling perpetually. And
is there...
I believe the lightning in the distance... It's getting closer and closer, right?
It sounds like it, but you can't see it getting closer. It looks like it's in the distance constantly with your sense the unseen. But the sounds are getting not louder, but clearer.
Would I know what that is?
The Tempest. Your best guess.
Okay.
But
if there's even a chance we can get her... Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, but you're not even sure you're on the same plane of existence. Or if this is even somewhere in between.
My bad.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
If there's even a chance we can get her back, we need to try.
Right.
That is true.
And Alex is like looking at Victor and JK and Darius, who is hiding here somewhere, and like, how do we do this? How we get her back, and what are we going to do about this place? I know that we were heading down here, and but there's something else down here that we're investigating. We need answers right now.
Victor is hammering on the obelisk. He is usually calm and composed, but he is screaming furiously, and you hear like bones are starting to crack. Darius is running towards him to try to pull him away from it.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
walk
going to lose
after.
2 people here. Yeah, so Alex is going to move forward. He's going to nudge JK like we need to get over there and basically stop Victor from doing this. So
I guess I'll move further forwards then.
because Victor can fly, so he's kind of moving around us, I assume.
Right now he's just hammering on the pillar where Naomi disappeared into. Darius is trying to grab him and pull him away. And he's looking at you, Killjoy, over his shoulder and just yelling, "Stake him! Stake the fucker!"
I looked at Alex.
Yeah, he's gonna like put up a hand and basically he's gonna lock eyes with Victor and mesmerize, like get him to calm down.
You can try, but you can see it's his beast in control right now.
Okay.
Can I grab him by the neck, basically?
Well,
And
Darius
basically,
is holding his arms like this from behind.
yeah, and get him to stare in my eyes. And I literally want to stare down his beast. I want to look at him in the eyes and be like, "Control your beast, Victor, or I will control it for you." And like, I will activate like Daunt and my red bestial eyes as well to try and get this thing to see what it's up against if it continues acting stupidly.
We tried control. We're going with intimidation now.
Yeah.
I will let Alex do a mesmerize and you do an intimidation roll. As you're both trying to make him see sense.
Well, I'm going to rouse because I need as much help with this as I can get.
So I add my presence,
That's a success.
and I add 2 bonus dice. And I add 2 bonus dice. Is it what? Charisma?
Either that or manipulation. It's up to you.
Both the same.
Holy shit,
That's a
Alex.
critical.
9 with a crit from Alex and Killjoy 7 with a crit.
We're
Whatever
both
you
fairly
guys are doing.
Yeah.
It seems that all the yelling and the compose yourself from Alex and Killjoy saying calm yourself and get in control. He's his eyes he blinks a couple of times and he's not sighing or anything, but you see the yellow from his eyes fade and the fangs retract. And he seems to become himself again. Darius is still pulling away from the obelisk.
Right. Alex is going to move with him, but essentially like keeping eye contact with him and saying, we need answers right now. We need to know what we need, what needs to be done here. What is happening to Naomi? What do you know about this? I understand your feelings are strong here, but you need to stay in control and we need to figure this out right now.
There's a single blood tear from his eyes. He wipes it as Darius lets go of him, because he can see or feel at least, that he's back to his usual self, more or less. And Victor just looks towards JK and says, "It's not really my area of expertise. How do we get her out?" You can still hear the frustration in his voice.
Do I know how to get her out?
You've never tried splitting the shroud within the shroud.
Huh. Well, we don't have a corpse here, so I can't really do that either way.
But you know that, well, Albert was locked in something like this for 100 years, so it's not like she's not gonna die from it, but locating her within this realm can be hard. What comes to mind is either you need someone who's adept at moving through shadows, or you need someone who is able to see into realms beyond the normal, like Josh. The answer you get from it might be a bit, but or perhaps someone like Marin. She's usually very attuned to this kind of thing.
Or Nemesis.
It comes to your mind, but the others haven't really seen her.
Yeah.
Me and Lasombra are good at moving through shadows. So, a safe bet would be to get Marin involved.
We need to leave her here? We need to go back?
Victor,
So I felt touching it.
I mean, unless she's in here for a decade, or more, she probably won't change.
Not the answer I was hoping for. He's gonna lay his hand on his sword.
I mean, if you try cutting into it, you might just cut right through her.
Is there a way to melt the obelisk?
It
And
is
then
made
maybe
of
she'll be with him?
solid shadow, I think. So,
Oh.
besides, I don't think flames are very efficient here.
Victor looks
Oh,
at
was
your
it-
sword, Alex, and says, "It can cut through anything, right?"
Oh yeah. Yeah, or at least I'm willing to give it a shot, that's for sure.
Before we do that, I wasn't referring to fire, and I'd like to take out a little knife and just cross the hand, and I'd like to use corrosive vitae, and then put my hand on the obelisk.
You can do the rouse. Rousing
Hey,
success.
it's a good
Vaughn
day.
does not have the curse today.
He's had a good
And,
he's had a good run so far. Like last episode was pretty good.
Don't say it loud. Don't say it loud.
Now
Say it
it's all,
louder, say
now
it
it's all
louder.
ruined.
And then the hand grabs me and drags me. But yeah, I put my hand on it, and I kind of like put my blood across it, and I'm hoping it will turn into acid. And I don't know what it will do against this rock, but he kind of like wipes his hand across it, and then
You
I'm willing
hear-
to do another rouse if it has any effect.
You hear the effect of it, like the sizzling, the alien kind of thing on the floor, but it does not leave a dent in this. You can see Victor is his eyes are closed and he's concentrating really hard, and saying, "Yeah, I can't see her. I can't see her in there. I can't feel her in my head. We're usually connected all the time."
You
I
might have
would
been
go-
transported somewhere else.
Vaughn will put his non-acidic hand, and he puts it on Victor's shoulders, like, we're gonna get her back. It's gonna be okay.
Before I start hacking this obelisk to pieces, Victor, I've seen you 1,000 times do the portal thing. Can you do the portal thing here?
To get us out.
Or to get someone else in?
I can try summoning her.
Do it.
Only if she lets me.
Do it. He's commanding her, or commanding Victor, basically.
Let me just make a few rolls here.
I'm happy to make another compel, or a compel roll here if need be.
You will obey the prince.
That's right.
Sventru's got his head up his own ass at the minute.
Damn.
He's doing the ritual. He's drawing it on the stone. You can see the blood. It starts glowing. It does not form a portal like usual. This is more like a drawing something to him. Takes about 10 minutes, you think. And he says, "She's not conscious. I can't do it without her permission." the ritual is effective, which is good, but she's not awake. She's in torpor.
Time might have moved strange when we're in here.
You said she's falling, JK.
Yes?
I don't know how this place works. Would it help if we go further down?
It might.
Well, in any case, we need to get out of here, right?
Yes, on the way back does nothing but get us back to wraiths that want to eat us.
Well, there has to be a way out somewhere.
True.
You can see Darius, he's, as you guys are doing all this, he's moving ahead to scout.
Yeah.
Very patiently, like he's walking through a minefield. Comes back when the ritual is done and says it's just more rocks, obelisks. The floor is flying further down. It's just stones in the air, but there's a stair, sort of, to what looks like a doorway, and it's going up, not down.
Oh,
You
we
know
have
what?
No other paths?
Yeah, I feel like that's at least a path through this area. We can't stay here. And it doesn't seem that we have anybody that can really deal with this obelisk. I can try to tear it apart.
It might work.
I don't
Might
think
not.
it's worth your soul, my prince, Victor says. Not unless we know for sure. There might be other ways. I suggest we get out of here and we talk to Marin or Josh. Perhaps Albert would know how.
Yeah, we definitely need more answers. I'm not crazy about leaving Naomi here, but we need more answers.
Well, neither am I.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, well, the only way out is through, I guess. So, onwards to the staircase.
You turn a couple of stones and corners. The path is solid for now, but it does not take long before you hit, as Darius described it, stones floating in the middle of air and in the air, like forming a stair towards what looks like a door. At least it's something that's a bit more bright in the shadows that looks like a portal of some sort. And Darius is just leaping from stone to stone very gracefully.
Of course he is. All right, Alex is going to follow. I don't know how graceful he's going to be, but
Victor is close behind you. He's not grabbing you, but he's I need everyone but Killjoy to make a dex and athletics. You had the cat's grace, so you're doing the same thing as Darius, just yeah.
it's a real specialty for me.
Yeah, I saw your stealth one earlier as well.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think we got out a lot of the, or at least some of the bad rolls earlier.
All right, I'm gonna rouse because I feel like I need to at this point. And I'm gonna roll for Dex and Athletics as much as this is gonna be. All right, that's 2 successes.
2 is enough.
Yay!
You almost fall as you're walking up at a stone right in front of you. Bradford appears and says, "Boo!" and you almost fall back, but you steady yourself.
God damn it, man.
You guys make it to the top, and
Yeah.
it is a door of light, not bright light, but you can't see through it. It's just like what a bright light would look like in black and white. If that makes any sense. It's very dampened. And Darius goes through first to check it out, but seems to disappear into it.
Alex is going to do the same. Basically, what I'm doing is like reach forward into the door.
It feels like you're walking through static electricity.
Ooh,
It
tingly.
does not affect you the same way as mortals, but you feel the tingling sensation on your skin as you walk through. And you guys enter an oval room, and you're faced with what looks like a wall of spirits,
Lovely.
just on a row, then another row on top, another row on top, from floor to ceiling. Kind of like they're standing on each other's shoulders, but they don't have legs. They're just these floating visages, and everyone can see them. Not just people with sentient seeing. The stone in here is grey, it's not black. It actually looks more like something that's been constructed and not something from a Lovecraftian nightmare.
Unless I need to make a composure check, Alex is going to pull a lot, he's going to pull himself up and compose himself and basically say, I appreciate you all waiting for me to arrive. I'm here now. Addressing the entire convocation of spirits.
They're just
and
swaying
yeah,
from side to side, but they don't.
trying to break the horror with a little humor here. Obviously, my advisor here, he's going to motion to JK, has told me of this particular meeting, and now here I am to discuss important matters with you, including the recovery of one of my coterie members, my members of the court. Obviously, a very important person, Primogen. He's just going to say all this calmly, yep.
JK, you can see they are bound. They are not free spirits. They're just here as a I want to say trap, but more like a gateway. Victor is studying them, and Darius is also, but Darius is moving closer to them. Like 1 foot from them, looking into one of their eyes. Does not seem fazed by this, but he's studying them. And Victor asked you, JK, do you think I need to ward everyone? It'll take time, and I might lose more blood than I'm comfortable with, but...
I mean, it would be smart, considering we're most likely nearing the Tempest. We're probably going to be dealing with a lot worse than this.
if we're ever going in here again, I'm ghost warding everyone.
I didn't know we were going in here. I was told we were just going to a warehouse.
Killjoy will unzip his bag, take out a vial of blood that he got from Scarlet, and chuck it to Victor.
I'm okay for now, but I appreciate it, Master Killjoy.
I have more.
It's good to
Came
know.
prepared.
Always.
It would be kind of shit if we start eating each other.
Agreed. I concur.
What do you think, my prince? Should we just face it, or should we ward it away? Try at least.
When you say it,
Well, it's in this case it would be your clothes I would be warding.
okay. Yeah. Warding seems like a good idea in this situation, given that we're not dealing with normal uh, pedestrian entities here. Rather the type that exist on an entirely different level. So, seems like a good idea.
I will need everyone's well, jacket, I suppose, the most outer clothes, and puts it in a pile.
Yeah.
Darius is not giving his robe away, so he just looks over his shoulder and says, "I'm good." I'm just gonna make a roll here and see if I can get a crit. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 6 people total, right? Okay, 5. 5 Ross chicks. Ugh.
I mean, we're 5 if not counting Darius.
I'm gonna say, chug.
Yeah,
Right.
a mile on the way. Just 1, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he's got the
Hey.
Vaughn curse basically.
You
It
give him
seems to be
a
transferred
vial
it
on
to
the way,
him.
Killjoy?
Yeah, does he need another one? I have another one.
Well,
Maybe.
he says, I am quite famished, but
It's like,
I'm not in.
I think it would be in everyone's best interest if the warlock in our charge was not frothing at the mouth. And I'll
I agree.
chuck him my second. I have one left.
I appreciate it, Master Killjoy. 3 Hunger Games in a row. Ugh. He does the ritual on the jackets, and they're initially soaked by blood, not soaked completely, but they're bloodied. But when the ritual is completed, the runes glow, and then the blood fades, and he hands back your jackets.
How long did that take out of interest? Was that a quick thing, or was it?
10 minutes per jacket.
Oh, okay.
He did
The
it
time
on.
is meaningless here, so
Was the doorway still there behind us as well?
Yes.
Okay. At one point in the 50 minutes that we were stood around waiting, Killjoy would have just stepped back through it. He would have done it a couple times, but he would just, through this, he's been mumbling things, like even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear, for the Lord is my shepherd, and kind of those things. But in his mind, he has the conversation with Nemesis playing in his head, and she was saying that he needed to be tainted by the Shadowlands in order to progress in this. And he'll just be kind of ruminating on that and ruminating on the angel, and will effectively be trying to call it either via his beast or just by thinking and naming her name. And he'll just wonder if anything happens.
Can you give me a resolve and what would it be in this case? You've really focused.
Cult. I've got nothing in it, but
Let's go resolve and wits for this one.
Stick off my addresses. Ooh, I'll stick a willpower on there.
Yeah.
We roll 3 of those bad boys. So yeah, 4 successes.
4. You walk around, you think, you focus, and you hear Irish Hut in your mind. You're close. I can feel it.
Close.
Well, closer than before.
Close to what? Close to you or close to a place?
Close to the gate, where I am behind.
He looks at the gate of literal light. And this gate?
No, not that gate. Further down. You're not gonna miss it when you see it.
Will you lead me to it? Can you?
You can only sense how close you are, but the Shadowlands are a mysterious thing where distance and elevation and it's hard to map out.
Hmm.
But I can feel if you're getting closer.
Nemesis also told me that I was to be tainted by them. What does that mean?
Well, there's an inherent property of this realm. You might have felt it. It's inside you now. You drank her blood. You should have the potential to manipulate this realm now. If you practice.
So if I have just tried not to touch anything as instructed, that can change. He'll just kind of think on other things and move through and try and cut ties, cut connection.
Which is kind of a weird thing, but you feel she's still present, but not speaking.
Yeah.
But you've summoned her and you have her attention.
Yeah. We'll just step in and whilst Victor's doing the rest of the stuff, he'll like move his finger on the walls maybe and touch some stuff and experiment.
It feels very cold. Does not affect you because you're not mortal, but and there's no water to cause rime or ice, but you feel like if you had a glass of water in here, it would probably be freezing. But you guys get your jackets back.
While he's doing that, I assume that it's possible to look at these spirits up close.
Well, yeah, Darius is standing like a foot away from you,
Right.
just staring
Yeah, and
into
they're just
their
kind of
eyes.
locked into place, so it's not like a whole menagerie of just these trapped souls or spirits. Is there anything at all that Alex can notice about them?
The strangest thing is they seem too similar to each other. Like they have lost their
Identities.
their normal visage. They very much seem like they're not acting independently anymore, or they're just a part of something.
Can he make any kind of determination as to what it is they're doing here, what purpose they serve, or I mean,
Well,
this is the whole place that was constructed and is trapping them here. Like Alex would be looking for like why would they either be here or why would this whole place be designed the way it is?
I think
Given that he's definitely like his mind has been focused lately on the structure of things and everything else.
a mental stat with investigation, I think.
Could I perhaps argue for occult?
Yeah, but you'll get a different answer.
Okay. Let's go with that. not so much. 2 successes.
Well, it's a wall, and you don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is like you don't know if they're designed to keep something in or out.
Oh. Okay, so they're not arranged in any kind of like stadium seating or anything. It's more like a wall of them. Okay. For some reason I had like semicircle or something.
Well, they kind of are because the room is that shape, like it's oval.
Okay.
But as you're staring at them and investigating all that, you can also see a corridor behind them. Like you're staring through them.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Why not? He's gonna like push his hand through, or try to, tentatively,
Before or after the jacket?
after the jacket. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Well, you touch it, and it's kind of. It seems like it's about to ambush you.
Hmm.
But as it puts its hands on you, it disrupts completely with a scream, and every one of you is shocked by it. Is completely out of nowhere. It's just ear shattering, the scream, kind of like JK's Banshee, but a bit less. But there's now a hole in the wall, and you see the spirit is slowly reassembling, very slowly.
Yeah.
But you can push through, and the other spirits, they will try to touch you, but it has the same effect of they're disrupted by the ward. They
I was just gonna look back and go, "It's this way." Yeah. He's gonna continue walking through.
JK is gonna put on his mask and follow.
kind of weird thing, but they actually turn their head and look at JK. As the only one who's like, they haven't really paid attention to you guys, but as he's walking through, they all in tandem just look down at him. But you push through. It's the same kind of thing. They try to attack you, but they're warded off. And try to, well, assemble again. As I said, the room is oval, and the corridor is at the very end of it. So then it's about 9 feet wide, but you can't see the ceiling as you're walking through. But with Sense the Unseen, you can see the thunder above you. And the rest of you, you hear the thunder. Like a thunderstorm that's way out over the ocean somewhere. Far out. But still there. It's quite unnerving. It's I think they call it a liminal space. Walking through this corridor.
Does
Alex
it
is-
seem like we're beneath the Tempest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex is
Does it-
he's committing these visuals to memory to use for a concert later on.
Does it rain here? Is that something that happens?
Victor says, as I understand it, it's a reflection of the real world, but not really. I don't know. I haven't been through the to the Shadowlands before. I've only read about it. So he looks to JK.
I mean, right now we're either hanging out in the labyrinth or in Oblivion itself.
A labyrinth.
Yeah, it's some sort of demiplane.
What's in the labyrinth?
Wraiths. And all sorts of other lost souls.
But how's that different from Oblivion? Because I thought that's what you.
Well, imagine Limbo. That is more of the labyrinth. Lost souls walking forever until they're consumed by nothingness. Whereas Oblivion is nothingness.
I see. Okay. So preferable then to Oblivion. I mean, on
For
one
now,
sense,
yes.
yes, yeah.
So we're on the conveyor belt that leads out of the factory. So to
Kind
speak.
of, but if we ends up going up to the actual thunderstorm, we might get completely destroyed immediately by things such as lava or all sorts of monsters.
Avoid the storm. Got it. Thanks, JK. I appreciate your expertise in this matter.
It would be recommendable at least.
Is everybody with us? I know that Killjoy is kind of moving around. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Darius is walking about 15 meters ahead of you at all times, scouting as you're talking, but he needs, you guys are talking, so he needs a bit of distance to do his job.
Can we see? So you described this corridor as 9 feet across. Yeah. And on the sides, or we got the storm above us. On the sides or anything, is there any other features, or is it just pure darkness, or what are we dealing with?
Black walls,
Okay.
where you can't see the ceiling, only with Sensitive Unseen you can kind of see a ceiling. That's the Tempest, but it's way up there.
Way up there, yeah. And there's nothing. These walls are relatively featureless. There's nothing to be seen in them or anything like that.
It seems like the same kind of obsidian, but very, very polished obsidian, not something that will occur naturally. Usually they will have dents or some slight curves or something, but this is completely straight.
So he can like touch it. He
It's
will.
cold, very cold, but you don't get frostbite from it, obviously, but
Right.
the path eventually broadens into a completely circular, almost dome-shaped room with before that I need you to do a composure and wits.
Four successes.
You just need Killjoy. Oh, you're muted.
I thought I was my conversion wits, right? Yeah. Oh, there we are.
What you guys see is, everyone except Killjoy is 64 mirrors in this dome. The feeling when you step into this room, Killjoy, is quite overwhelming. You lose one superficial willpower and you don't really get a headache, but this feels as close to it as you're gonna get. You can't stare at anything but the floor right now because it's just mirrors everywhere creating that effect. It's quite disturbing to the rest of you guys as well. Alex, you're unfazed. There's something just... of course it's annoying.
Yeah.
Bradford appears and says, "That's quite extravagant. Why would anyone build something like this?" And then he disappears.
My thoughts exactly. Yeah. He's going to approach the mirrors, and he's a little bit fascinated about this entire structure. And again, any kind of rolls to determine the purpose or anything else of these, he's going to touch them. He's going to do things like that to try to divine the purpose of these, because he feels compelled to do that at this point.
When you touch it, they start to crack. You can push your finger through, and it's kind of like seeing ice crack. When you pull back, they become whole again.
So the warding is probably affecting. Okay.
Do I have any idea what these mirrors are?
You guys can do an occult roll, I think.
Just
With
occult?
either wits or intelligence.
I'm gonna burn a willpower.
I think that would be a good idea.
Well,
Yeah. Nicely done.
That's a messy crit. It's a very, very high messy crit.
Yeah.
JK falls to his knees and goes, "It's so beautiful."
You get dizzy, and the room starts to swirl. And you kind of leave your body like you would do during a premonition. The rest of you guys, you should see him fall over, stiff as a corpse, and
Torpor, let's go.
see black coming from the nose and the ears and the eyes. JK, you are well, you're still in the room, but you look around, you see your body on the floor, you see all the mirrors, but one of the 64 mirrors is black. But your body is on the floor, and how does everyone else react to this?
JK. And Vaughn will go over and it's like smacking his face a little bit. Come on, JK. Are you there? He's like looking and opening his eyes to like see if there's any response.
He looks as if in torpor, but he's bleeding black goo from his face holes. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh.
Orifices.
Orifice.
So Vaughn gets
That's
some on
orifice.
his hands and he's like, and he's gonna look towards everyone else like I don't know what to do. Like there's like blackness on his hands. They just-
What happens if I touch Vaughn?
Can you touch Vaughn?
Do you try?
Yeah,
Where do you touch him?
just like his shoulder.
Or when you feel something like an icicle being pushed into your shoulder, it does not damage you or anything, but it's just really fucking cold all of a sudden.
He's like he's like looking around like what was something just touched me. Was it JK? Is it and
Don't
he'll put
worry,
his-
I'm fine. I'll say I don't know if
The
any sound
the
carries.
body moves the mouth, his mouth, and you hear him speak, but it's not coming from the mouth. It's coming from, I guess, right next to you.
Do the rest of us perceive this?
You can't see
Okay.
JK, but yeah, his voice is not coming from his mouth, and but the mouth is moving.
Vaughn will reach out his hands in the direction of the voice to see if he can touch JK.
Well, that's up to JK, I guess.
Sure, let's see what happens.
Same icy feeling. You can't really. It's just something there, intangible, but very cold.
What?
Your fingers stiffen, and you kind of like have to force them to get back to working condition.
Seeing all this, Alex is going to like see Vaughn's reactions because he's the only one who's really reacting apart from JK's mouth moving on the floor, and go. If I understood you correctly, all of the rest of us can hear his disembodied voice
Yeah,
all
it's
of
just
that.
not coming
Yeah.
from his mouth.
Alex, in a kind of, Palmer way, is going to say, JK, are you having an out of body experience right now?
Quite literally, yes.
Could you get back into your body? Is that a problem?
Just pick me up for now. It'll be fine.
Just pick you up.
Darius
Vaughn,
walks over to
you
the
want to pick him up?
Yeah.
uh, lifts him up.
Yeah.
Very stiff. It's just.
He's just like full on
Yeah.
like rigor mortis, like just
Yup.
completely stiff.
Oh god.
Can I somehow try to lead them towards the one mirror that is blackened?
I can only follow your voice, but you can try. What would that be? You're trying to explain something, so. Intelligence and awareness, I think. If you're leading someone to somewhere.
Sure. I can't re-roll anything.
Nope. 0 successes. Fortunately, not a beast. Well, you can still hear him speak, but for some reason now you can't pinpoint where his voice is coming from. It seems to be echoing.
Are his eyes open?
Nope.
Like, is there any kind of recognition in his body that his eyes are open, or there's any kind of like being able to look at his eyes?
JK's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are open.
Alex is going to try to basically compel him to get back in his body.
Oh my
like enough disembodied shenanigans now. Time to get back in the body. All right.
We're gonna do 2 rolls here.
Okay.
You do your compel,
Okay.
and let's do that first, so JK will know the difficulty. The higher you get, the easier it will become.
Okay.
Obviously. Four. Do you want to reroll anything?
I will reroll. I'll spend willpower. I've got it to burn.
5.
5. It's a respectable roll.
JK, you do a stamina and resolve. 3. 3 is just enough. You're pulled back into your body. Well, you feel like you want to anyways. And Darius is holding you in his arms as you wake up.
And Alex is looking right at you.
Thank you for the lift. I'll show you the way now. And I'll start moving my way to the one mirror that was blackened.
You can still see it. Strangely
You
enough.
go pat him on the shoulder.
So fucking nonchalant.
That's right.
Darius is...
Wow.
This is the first time he's weirded out by anything through this whole venture.
So far.
And Victor is, well, if he wasn't stressed by the fact that Naomi is missing, he would probably spend hours in here studying all the shit. But he's quietly following along.
What does the ichor that came out of my body taste like, if I may ask?
Putrid blood.
Ah, lovely.
Vaughn has it on his hand, so he's like,
Well, you're used to eating it, so.
he like wipes it off himself.
But yeah, I'll just make my way to the mirror that was blackened and walk through it.
Alex is gonna gesture towards him. Seems fine to me now. Seems like he's good.
He walks into a mirror, and when he touches it, it becomes black for the rest of you guys to see. And he walks through it.
Alex is going to follow.
And his water jacket close around him, following as well. Yeah.
Vaughn follows as well.
Let's see here. You enter a staircase where there's nothing behind you. It's like you walk through a wall. There's no way back. And the stair is glowing green, like it's covered in fluorescent moss, almost. But it's
Going up-
not. It's just the
or down?
stones glowing
Is it moving upwards or downwards?
downwards. You see nothing but the stair. You're not quite sure if there's anything to the sides, but it does not seem like it. And if you try to touch, there's nothing there. There's only like this green staircase that seems to go down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meters into darkness. Obviously, it's not bright glowing, so you can't see all the way down to the end of the stair. But it's not that wide, and it does. When you walk on it, you feel a bit wobbly, and not. Well, kind of like you're walking down a stair drunk, but there's no railing to hold on to. It's an unnerving feeling. Like you're if you're afraid of heights, you're standing at the very edge, and you kind of feel like you're being pulled over the edge. That feeling, kind of like vertigo, and but it doesn't actually happen. It's just that nauseating feeling of being pulled over the edge, and like everything is kind of swaying. You descend the stair, I assume.
JK,
Yeah.
are we going in the right direction here?
I mean, unless you want to head to lava.
I mean,
Down
that's
is
fair.
better than up.
That's fair. Yeah.
The tempest
Okay.
is still above you.
Yeah. Okay. Down is better, I suppose, in that way.
Victor says behind you, Alex. I know this is not ideal, but let's just try to look positively at this, and this is a good experience for your magical training.
Thank you, Victor, for your counsel. She's gonna turn right around and go, "Okay, JK, lead the way."
Just start walking downwards.
Yeah. Is there any kind of, is this a bounded staircase, or is this kind of like just, and is it just my mind playing games on me, or is it that it's a straight staircase or a spiral staircase?
It's straight, kinda, but you still feel like it's going
Sure.
like this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Topsy-turvy.
if you stop, it's completely steady.
Okay.
But when you begin to move, it feels like, whoa.
We're walking on jello. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. Do we know why? Is there any way to determine why it feels this way differently here at all? Like what's causing the sensation?
It could be because of the light.
What about the light?
Like it's messing with your inner ear or your sight or something like that. The light from the stair, the fluorescent light.
Okay.
I think Vaughn, you kind of experienced something like this before. It
Oh,
feels
Vaughn's
a bit.
been on so
it
many.
feels a bit trippy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juan is the only one going steady.
Yeah.
I've navigated these halls before.
Victor, he has pulled out his cane, and you can hear the tap on each step, because he is also affected by this. Darius seems unfazed, but might just be his composure. Still walking ahead of the group. You arrive at the bottom of the stair on a platform. It's not a room because it has no walls and it has no ceilings, or no ceiling. But there's think a well is the best way to describe it. Just a 2 feet high wall in the middle of it, kind of making a circle. And right before it on a pedestal, there is the easiest way to describe it is a golem, like a huge stone, shaped like a man, but not really. And a wraith, very same kind of green fluorescent wraith flying around it, and it looks down on you guys. It actually seems sentient. It's about 5 meters from you guys. 15 feet, I think. Yeah. Maths. Just looking at you. You feel
Alex Kairos, Prince of London, and you would be?
the gatekeeper. I think. Well, you understand it, but it's not speaking English.
Which gate are you guarding?
The abyssal gate.
So this is your territory, Alex.
Indeed, all this is my territory, and by the tradition of accounting, you haven't introduced yourself to me yet, so I'm glad that we can now make an acquaintance with each other. What purpose do you serve, gatekeeper?
To prevent anyone from going in and out of the prison below.
Well, in that case, do you have a way for us to get out of here?
He points towards the stair.
No. We just
There's
came
nothing
from
at
there.
the top of the stairs.
Yeah. It's lava up there. Yeah.
If you can't tell, we still haven't passed on to the afterlife.
Well, you are dead.
Is there like a chaperone system that like you could walk us through the prison to the other side?
Do you want to deal with demons, Vaughn?
Oh, we're not passing through the prison?
The only way to get into the prison is by becoming prisoners.
Oh.
Makes sense. Well, as this is part of my domain, I thought I'd check it out, tour the place, get a feel for everything here. Would really appreciate some directions. I mean, I've taken my census and, cataloged everything in here for future reference.
I am not a ferryman.
Could you call one?
No.
How long have you been down here?
I don't know.
Time has no meaning. Yeah, okay.
Which kingdom are we in?
Well, you are in the realm of the dead. And I sense all of you are dead.
Undead, if you will.
Well, corporeal dead.
Close enough, yes.
Do you have anybody you answer to? Is there a supervisor that I can speak to?
I am bound to this place, but I have not seen my creator in a long time.
I mean, if you want to break to go grab him, we can take over in your place for a moment.
Yeah, we got this place locked down. It's covered. All these people, I can vouch for them. They're really good.
It looks down at the golem and says, "Do you know how to possess the guardian?"
I can certainly try.
I would certainly like to learn.
It seems calm and not. It's not hostile, at least not now. Well, you're not moving towards the hole, so. But it's definitely foreign in its ways. And it flies down a bit, touches the golem with its, well, it doesn't have feet, it's just a mist kind of thing, and sinks into it. The golem starts to glow the same kind of green, and you hear the crackle from stone as it starts to move. This, I think, 9 feet tall thing with arms the size of tree trunks. And still speaks, but you feel like it's more in your mind than anything else. And says, "This is my purpose, and my purpose alone. If you want to go below, I can't let you back up. Unless you defeat me." But
I don't want to fight you, all right? I just want to give you a new job, right? Like, I can see potential in you. I can. You have tons of potential. And there's been a change in management since the last entity you've probably talked to. And but I can give you a place in what is essentially my domain here, a new purpose, as it were, to serve both of our interests, together. You can keep your current job if you like, but it seems pretty dull down here, and we can certainly use your help and skills in the company.
But this
He's
is
like,
my
I know
purpose.
this. Yeah.
Victor, he talks quietly, but he says, "I don't think it's actually sentient. I just think it's a remnant.
It's a husk of a soul.
Yeah, I don't think it can leave this place. It's made for a single purpose by whoever created this place."
Can we control it? He's going to turn around and speak lowly to them. Like, can we, I mean, given that it doesn't have sentience, it doesn't have a will of its own, can we get it to work for us? That's where Alex is going with all of this.
Well, it was possible to break the bonds of gargoyles to their former master, and I assume it would be possible if you could get a force more powerful than whatever bound it. I'm not sure. It's not something I've really done before. I mean, gargoyles are different in a sense that they're still kindred, but I think this is just a wraith possessing stone, really.
Let's look into JK. I know I've seen you give commands and orders to ethereal beings.
Spirits that were contracted to be controlled by me, yes.
Yes. Can you set up something like that with this being? Is that possible at all?
No. The best I could do is try to exercise it, but it will probably move out of the way before it will be. I'd recommend trying to find another exit unless we want to go down to the realm of demons.
Darius, who looks at Alex and then Killjoy and says, "We just kill it, right?"
Right. He's about to lay his hand on his sword again. Like, yeah, I mean, why not? Let's just I'm tired of dealing with one thing after another here, just kind of passing us further down the path unless we have, I mean, we can't go back the way we came.
It might have changed since we went through.
Victor says, "Maybe. It will let us pass, but it will not let us back up. Do you not Do we need to get back up? I don't know what this prison is, but
I'm not keen on being a prisoner.
If we make too much noise, what could potentially come after us? Because this place doesn't seem like it's very kind to just existing here. If we shake things up, what are demons gonna come after us? And what even is a demon? Like a fucking does it have horns and a tail? Like what are we talking about here?
Not traditionally. Well, traditionally in folk tales. Not from my current understanding, at least.
I mean, I haven't met one personally, but I've read books.
Us is going to turn around. Gatekeeper, we need you to lead us through the prison. Not to become prisoners, but through the prison. We need to get through here. I need to complete my inspection.
I think you just a usual either charisma or manipulation and persuasion kind of thing here.
Got this. I got this. This is my wheelhouse. I can do this. That's a hunger game. I'm pretty hungry right now.
At 4. Nobody starts
Yeah.
to bleed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm seeing is it Blackstone or Blackwood? I can't remember his name. He's like there all the time now. Okay, so charisma and manipulation both, is that what you said?
Either charisma or manipulation plus persuasion.
Okay.
Or intimidation, if you want to go that route.
I'm just gonna go with persuasion here.
Disciplines is not gonna work on this thing, so.
Yeah. Should I? I'm gonna roll willpower on that. I need at least a couple of those. Okay. No dice. So that's 3 successes.
It leaves the body of the golem. And says, I can lead you further down, but I don't know the way out. I am trapped as well. Let's do a funny thing. What would that be? Let me just see here. Because Alex has a fun thing here. I take it you're frustrated right now, right, Alex?
Oh yeah. He's frustrated. He wanted to command this thing. His Ventru heritage is coming out. Yeah, he's basically like he wants to command it to do his bidding, and he's frustrated that he can't do that. So yeah, he's wanting to dominate it, but it's a spirit, so he can't. It's just he's frustrated for sure.
Do a resolve. And that's the composure. You can't rouse or reroll or anything like that. But just do
Nope.
that.
Okay,
Let's see what happens here.
3 successes.
3. I was just looking for the margin of this.
Yeah.
Alex is speaking to it, and it leaves the body, and the room starts to shake. Alex, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
JK, you can see kind of a growing shadow behind him. Like a...
Behind Alex?
Yeah, like a female figure, I want to say.
Yeah.
And the wraith is kind of being pushed back a bit. It seems like a gust of wind almost. And it starts flying into the well and says, "Follow me."
Yeah.
You haven't noticed anything of this, but the rest of you are like,
Yeah.
whoa, the whole room shakes, and
Yeah.
you really feel like something is wrong here. But
What the hell was
Wraith
that?
responds to his command, at least the second time, or his frustration.
So who's your female friend, Alex?
He's going to ignore the question and just keep going. He's going to
Wait.
follow it down. He's starting to lose his composure here. It's not looking good, and he's not even going to honor the question. He's just going to keep going. He doesn't have time for the question right now.
When you look down the well, it's just a green mist. You can't see the bottom of it or anything like that. But the wraith is sinking into it. I don't know if you just want to take a leap of faith, jump into it, or try a different approach.
Describe that again. He's sinking. There's a well.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it. It's kind of like a 2 feet wall that's circular in the middle of the platform, and there's a green mist down in it. The wraith is sinking into, disappearing from sight into the mist. Victor looks at Vaughn, kind of smiles, and you don't take damage from falling, right?
All right, well, does gravity work the same here? I don't know. But Vaughn will look out down into the well and just kind of like just shrug his shoulders at everybody and just jumps in. And I'd like to use weight of the feather if gravity is like it's like normal. You know what I mean? Like if I'm actually falling, I'll use weight of the feather to ease down.
Well, your power reacts in an unusual way. It makes you float on the mist. You're not sinking into it. You kind of just hip deep in it. Don't go further down. You feel nothing below you. Just empty space.
And he's like, this is... He just looks at the... And I imagine he's still looking at him. He's like, he's never done that before. Well...
Darius tries to push you down.
Yeah. Alex is going to say, "Let's go," like to everyone else, and he's just going to jump in.
Well, Darius leaps in with one and kind of pulls you down with his weight.
Yeah.
Is everyone going in?
Well, so.
JK's gonna pull out his signet ring that he got from Albert and try to contact him somehow, if possible.
Do a wits and oblivion.
Oh, that's an interesting one. There we go.
Three?
Yeah.
We feel a connection, but it's faint. It's weak. You feel his presence, at least, in your mind.
JK will just try to get the words through falling into abyss help, and then he'll jump into the well.
When you fall through the mist, you're seeing the cosmos around you, like stars, suns, not like burning you or anything like that, far, far away. You feel like you're floating through the universe you lose all sense of time, and then you appear out of nowhere. Your vision becomes completely white, and then you're in a room that's completely circular, and you see an altar in the middle, and around the room, kind of like a clock, 12 sarcophagi, I think it's plural. Sarcophagus. Yeah.
Sarcophagi. Yeah.
Yeah. Each different. The face of it is different people. Something from, well, way past. There's a stone altar in the middle with glowing magical runes. And above it is a shadowy figure. It does not have, well, you can kind of see like arms or and things like a shade flowing with what looks like a silver skull helmet or mask, more like, floating above the altar, just turning around, kind of like a little dancer in a music box. It just seems suspended above this altar, where you all appear in
A
this
shade with
tomb.
a skull
It seems
helmet.
like, yeah, a shade with a silver skull mask.
Any of us recognize it as? Oh,
Like, kind of looks akin to what JK is wearing, but not really. It's unique.
Is any of the iconography like recognizable at all
You
in
do
this room?
academics or occult with intelligence. It will give you different answers.
Can I help him with that?
Well, you can
I don't-
do one roll each, or you can, if you want to help, it's just an extra die.
Yeah, I'd like to just lend an extra die to JK there and lend my efforts of occult identification to his.
6 with a critical hit. Academics.
Hmm.
Well, it definitely looks like pre-Christ. But from... Well, that's the Killjoy. It's, apparently you've picked up an archaeology book somewhere in the past.
It's to do with biblical times and
Yeah. And this looks ancient, and from the architecture and everything from the place, this definitely looks like something from around the 1st century. But you can see the sarcophagi are probably built later. Your best guess is they are, well, you can't carbon date it, but around 1,000 years old, you think, with a 6 and a crit. JK2, you've never seen anything like this before. This is not even the runes or anything like that, but Victor says, careful, everything is watered to hell in here. Don't touch the sarcophagi.
Ward is as in done by kindred?
Oh, definitely. This is blood magic, but old blood magic.
very old.
I'm starting to think of someone here. Like the... Oh, what was it called? The architect. Celius, I think. He built kind of weird things like this, and I'm not saying it's entirely his creation, but I think he might have had a... well, something to do with it. I'm not sure when it was built.
Said the mask in the middle kind of looked like mine, right?
Well, it's a skull mask with fangs. Silver. But it kind of goes over its head. Beneath it, it's just shadows. You can kind of see it has arms, but that's it.
And this is a spectral figure. This is like another type of wraith-looking thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The green wraith is not here. If anyone wants to, they can do a sense the unseen.
Yes, please.
Vaughn, Alex is glowing. Kind of like that night you were meditating on a rooftop and you felt his building's presence. Well, he has this, well, it's not really a color. It's more of like glowing with a feeling. It's weird to describe, but you're used to weird things. And
Vaughn will, without saying anything, go up to Alex and like take his hand and just touch him, pull his hand back, see if how the feeling like if he feels like even like a little static electricity from him.
you get more of an emotion of everything is going to be alright. There's nothing to worry about. You're fine. Obviously, Alex, you feel him like going
Right.
at you.
You okay there, Vaughn? You good?
You got good vibes, Alex. You got really good vibes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vaughn will hug him. Give him a hug.
It's like, it's kind of like, takes me by surprise. Like, okay, all right, okay, Vaughn.
As you hug him, you get the feeling the only thing that's close to it is a mother's embrace. Not Alex, but that's how you feel when you hug Alex.
Right.
What Alex is maybe just stiff.
Yeah. It's just like, he kind of took him by surprise. Like, okay, there, buddy. You good? Yeah.
Vaughn probably hugs him for a little bit longer than he probably should. It's a little awkward, but he's just like.
Victor seems fascinated by the room. He's walking around in and studying the ruins and everything, and Darius seems to be in watch mode. He's just watching everyone, where they're stepping, where they're going, and listening to what they're talking about.
And I look forwards and just kind of somehow inspect the shade in the middle with the mask.
How close do you get to the altar?
Like within a meter of it, but not touching it.
No, it stops. It's swirling or twisting and looks down at you. It starts to speak. You don't understand the language, I think. Does any of you speak Latin?
Yes.
But then you do. Who are you? It just asks. It's a very deep and distorted voice.
Do the rest of us hear this?
Yeah, but you don't understand
Okay.
what it's saying.
Sure. Yeah.
I am a descendant of Cappadocius.
Did you bring the master?
Who? Who is the master, if I may ask?
Your sire.
He might be coming.
Cappadocius?
Oh, I believe he is long past.
Well, I feel akin to you. We share the darkness. Why have you come here?
We are trying to get out of this plane of existence and back into our own, as we have yet to pass the actual threshold.
Well, you will need to tear a hole in reality or walk through the abyss down below.
Yes.
Unless you know how to travel through shadows.
Alas, none of us do. So, well, we don't have a corpse here. So our only chance really is to walk through the abyss and get out on the other end.
You walk towards midnight, and you will find the gate.
What is your name, if I may ask? You've been here for a long time, have you not?
It says something, and it's really just a title, but it's the closest thing to it is Shadow Demon.
Also, who are in this sarcophagi?
Some are prisoners, some are help.
Who are what?
Well, really they're both, but they're meant to wake if the gate below opens.
So when we open the gate, they will awake.
Only if something from the abyss comes here.
Well, I'm pretty sure we already have one with us.
It
And I will
is
just
what
slightly look at Alex.
it's like it's looking into your mind, and I think it's what you call hell.
Yes. This is gonna be a long walk.
Speaking of Killjoy, the connection is getting stronger.
Okay.
It's close. And I just want to remind, because it was a long time ago, but Arishad did speak of opening a gate below.
Yeah, that was like the opening gambit, which. Yeah.
Victor is paying attention to the conversation like he understands it.
And Alex is going to say, okay, what are we talking about here? What's the conversation?
Are you asking Victor or JK?
Whichever one will answer.
We're gonna go on a long walk and then we'll be fine.
More specifically.
We're gonna walk through hell and then we'll be fine.
Hell?
Yes.
yeah. Hell? Yeah. Right. What Bond said. Yeah. We're just gonna walk through hell.
Yes.
No other way through here, huh?
Victor says, I don't know if going to the next plane of existence is the way out. It seems to be more like the way further in. But I'm not sure of how the layers of this place is.
Unless you give me a fresh corpse, I can't pull us out of here forcefully.
We're surrounded by corpses.
I mean
Points to the
fresh as in
sarcophagus.
I mean fresh as in I have to cut the heart out of them.
Well, the gate he's speaking of, we don't actually have to open a gate to use it. It can be used as a communication device. I don't know if I can, but I think it's better than letting out whatever's in there. And if this is a prison and well, he said like they're guardians as well. They're guarding whatever is supposed to come out of this gate should it open.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with either of that. I just want a way out of here. For me and the rest of us. And it seems like no one up to this point has been able to give us that. And at this point, I'm losing my patience with these entities. So
Victor holds out the wrist. I can't bind you to me.
yeah.
I'm okay if you need it, my prince.
He's going to refrain from that for the moment, but he is clearly gritting his teeth, and he's clearly on edge about things. I want results. I want to be able to get out of here. This spirit here, I want a clear answer as to a
said-
way that we can open up a path out of
That
here.
is the way.
He said to walk towards midnight. He looks around the room, Victor. There are 12 sarcophagi.
It's a
Okay.
clock. It's a clock. Okay. All right. So midnight. Midnight is 12, according to our version of clocks. I
But which
assume.
way is up?
Well, how about you tell us that, JK? Well, which way is up here?
JK is gonna turn to the shade and ask it what it knows of Lilith.
Obviously, you guys understand the word Lilith, but nothing else. The Lilith, well, she's the mother of all things.
Okay, good, because one of us seems to be carrying her on their back.
Not carrying. he's responding. Not carrying. She doesn't need to be carried. And he is going to start inspecting the sarcophagi or looking for any indication as to which way is right side up here.
Well, if you entered at kind of like next to 6 o'clock in your mind, and the sarcophagi at 12, it's depicting a woman with like a huge, what looks like to be a raven behind her with its head turned to the side. She's holding a large sword. I mean, it's carved into stone. And it's a dress you think she's wearing. It's you can't get much detail on the face of a sarcophagus, but that's the sarcophagus at what is 12 in this clock.
Moving towards it, he's going to like put his hand on the sarcophagus, knowing that they're warded and everything. So he's going to very carefully, like, push towards it